went into the police station with her after you got home? What day did you get home? You got home and the report said that you went in accompanied, or she went in accompanied by you. And
I think we had to identify something on the pictures from the ATM or something like that. And then, you know.
And how did the officer act during it? Like, because he used exact phrases. I didn't dive.
It almost got like the feeling that they were looking to try and, that like they had history that they thought they could get you, and maybe they.
No, well, you clearly stated at trial that he knew me, but he had no. We've never had a run-in in the law.
No, one of them was, it looked kind of like he had his eye on you for a while, or.
Just since I dated Alicia. Because Alicia is the one that had a problem. Or, that's where the problems with the cop started. When she dated this Riverdale cop. Well, not dated, but they had relations. And she was 16, and he was a cop. And he's always had a thing for her. So he's basically, her ex is like, you remember Steve Brown? That was Alicia's best friend.
Right.
Well, before Alicia, me and Alicia got together, she was dating Joey DePayne, which was Brownie's best friend. And so this guy was stalked. He got a case against Brownie, he got a case against the kid that dated her. Then he tried getting me pulled over on a DUI. He arrested me, brought me in, I had to get in the car, whatever happened in my car, and brings me in. And definitely was, it was weird, because he was like so nasty, like.
So he had alternative,
and then when I got inside the police department, he was so nice, and it was like, then I realized, yeah, because he's playing the system, you know. But,
she gets it from the government, not from me.
No, because it's not. If say something happened to you, just like if something happened to someone's dad, he died.
Right.
The mom is getting Social Security.
Right.
So after a certain age, you get it anyway.
No, this has nothing to do with that. It's the way she gets qualified for it.
But why is she? I'm just wondering. She becomes a citizen.
She qualifies for a higher amount because we were married for 10 years. But she did qualify on her own anyway. But if she ever had to apply for it, because we were married for 10 years, she gets a higher amount. That's what.
So what about the fact that, did you, like, I know Grandma got you the lawyer and everything, didn't anything else get discussed, like a will, or did you have to, because usually divorces are more complicated than that.
No, it was pretty much settled. The only thing that she went back on was the freaking car. She made 2 payments and gave up on it. Which, you know.
So then why do you still talk to her?
Because you know.
I don't know, because she ruined our relationship, so that's why we're not as close. And you just, you let it happen, and, like, it was rough when I tried to come home and the locks were changed.
Well, they're changing on her too, and Grandma thinks that if they went back to the original lock, so you keep that you originally had, might work if you still have it.
Yeah, but why did you guys, that's what I'm saying, like.
It wasn't me.
I know it's.
I had nothing to do with it.
It was yeah, I know, but it's so. I lived in the freaking wind, and for all this time, was battling these cases, and I just got cleared, and then I get pulled over for no reason. And they said, "Oh, I thought you were more stuff." So that's why I went to the lawyers. It's just, and they said, "It's like, well, why don't you leave the town?" Well,
the problem with that, she fell in love with David.
I know she did, but that was part of the reason that she did what she did.
Well, I know. And I told her, I remember saying, I was arguing.
Because remember she always loved Rufus, and then Diesel came, and she fell in love with Diesel?
Yes.
Yes, and that's, and I told and they didn't even listen to me, and that's the point of why, like, this was all going to go away. And then just recently, when they pulled that shit and pulled me over and stuff, and like, I'm just tired of it.
I want to go out here.
Oh, so, yeah, but the memory and everything. But,
don't get the 3-1 slides, right?
Yeah. Because, like, you know, it was also, JJ would,
Yeah, I think that thing
you know, I used to work
would
with,
work with those.
you know, I used to work with George in the diner before JJ ever did. I think Park Airport, I know Donna and everything.
I think so.
I was like, I think 13 or 14 when I started working.
Uh,
Yeah, well, I guess then after that, George, the next George bought it, and that's when I worked, remember I worked with CVI?
With who?
CVI, the place, the glass place that was behind Daniela's work.
Right, right.
Yes. JJ's, I guess, when JJ wasn't in, the owner, George,
Mm-hmm.
he would text JJ a few times and like, oh yeah, they're, Daniela's meeting with, you know, the cop. So I guess they were like, he was going into her place of employment on a pretty frequent basis.
Alright, so you're gonna save all these? You want me to put them back where they were?
No, just leave that because I'm going to take that with me today. I'm making not making, but I'm trying to timeline things, and sometimes the dates on things will.
Make a
I
trigger?
can't remember half the stuff I used to remember ever since the lead poisoning.
Okay.
My memory's shot. Like it's hard. I lose my train of thought.
Well, I used to be the same way, and with everything that went on with me the last.
It's not the same because, like, think about it. Like I've always been. Think that, you know, I don't know. And she already had, like, what, she wait exactly 10 years, and then she had her mom here already? Like, how does that work?
Well, she's got her mom here to watch the baby.
Yeah, but how'd she get her here that quick?
She's not here living.
How do you get into the country? What, do you sneak?
No, she got a visa.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to, she was supposed to return already.
What about, was it, I think Jackie was telling me that, the reason that, like, she wasn't getting as much is because you caught an email or something to her, an email for her mom or whatever, and, something about, like, her 10-year nightmare is over or something like that.
Oh, well, I showed Grandma what she was saying to her family.
What did she say?
Basically, that she didn't enjoy being here anymore.
Then, so she was staying to get this status, and that's...
No, she just, the reason why she wanted to stop living here is because she didn't like being here anymore.
Because ultimately she divided us and then left you.
She wanted to control me, and she didn't like the fact that at the end, she wanted me to move out of here. And
She was trying to get me to leave with her before, like, to leave you, so before the thing ever went down with me. That's why it was kind of crazy that she went from...
Well, she wanted me to leave and then take a step down and try and live in a crappy apartment. I was like, why? I don't want to leave.
And then the other thing I was always wondering
I don't think it was that bad here.
The other thing I was always wondering about is, I obviously know you guys wanted my safe because you guys took down the naproxen. So, how...
Oh, she was snoopy about a lot of shit, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but how many times did you know that she wanted my safe?
I don't know.
Well, you know, obviously, the one time because...
I also know the one time that I got annoyed,
I want to know these things because this literally...
Well, I remember the one time that
life.
you had, what's her name, Simone here?
Yeah.
And she went in Simone's pocketbook and found the heroin.
Okay. Well, what would be alleged to be heroin unless she knows?
Well, I don't know what heroin looked like, but this,
that's what I'm saying.
But
just like Bloom.
Too.
Yeah, well, he wasn't migrated. Well, Jessica was.
I remember her, when she died, you were very upset with that. Yes.
Yeah. Didn't Mom and her die within the same 2 weeks?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when she died.
Well, I'm trying to think of it. It was the same.
Your mom died 14 years ago, right?
Well, it was I was a sophomore, and I know that I'm thinking it was Jessica.
I thought Jessica died before that.
No, we were freshmen, and
Just like the picture Roseanne posted on Facebook. I have that same picture.
What picture? I didn't even know I had it.
It's you're right before the Dominican when she had with that really colorful
hair.
And yeah, that, but also the colorful
blue
dress or whatever it was on.
do one of those, when they get, money, I'm curious to do one of those, like the,
Ancestry.
yeah, I just want to do just an element. When did, remember when Mom and, Dad was divorced, what year that was?
Top of my head, though.
You should remember those things.
Maybe a few years ago I would have remembered it, because I
I have to
used it.
remember the details, and I still, and I'm supposed to use the love of your life.
Yeah, well, it's been 14 years, and it's, you know, trying to go on without her, and it was rough.
Well, it's easier for you when you could,
I never really.
eat some, I didn't say replace her, but
Actually,
not replace her, but for me, there's nobody that can.
in fact, the last, whatever you want, 10 years, I was like, I didn't want to bring her up, if you know what I mean. I couldn't even do that.
Yeah, but then why'd you stay in that relationship?
Well, I don't like change, I guess. But that's
Yeah, but at the same time,
No,
you
I'm
did
glad,
change because.
well, I'm glad it's over. Because and she's asked me a couple times, do you want to get back together and move in with me? I said, no. There's no way I want to be with her again.
I'll tell you right now, I promise you I won't talk to you again if that happens.
What?
I promise you I won't talk to you again if that happens, because
No, I have no.
she just ruined the last, how many years of my life? I lost my friends because of her, because she talks at the diner. I lost my job because of her, which now it almost convenient, but you know, nobody obviously didn't want to question what the police were saying, you know, so I lost, you know, my friends, I lost my family. I didn't, you know, Stevie I didn't talk to for a long time, Jackie too, JJ. There's collateral damage, and it was all to just get here and get her, like, you know, citizenship and shit. Because for her to, you know, like, she had a baby pretty quick, that means, like, as soon as she moved, like, it just, I don't know.
I just think it's funny that she found out afterwards that the guy was.
I found something in the yearbook, it said, like, from 3rd to 5th grade, how I got the most improved student. And I didn't realize how much Mom worked with me in, like, in terms of speech. And I went through and I didn't realize she had to sign off on me every night and stuff, and, like, I didn't realize that she put that much time and effort into it.
I'm trying to remember
It was my third.
I don't remember where that was, though.
Lennox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember I had Mr. Panzerazzi, that's when I had the dinner in 5th grade, when I got to go to the or go to the place in Maine.
And then she's been your wife, I was only around for one year of the famous. I'm trying to think how long I've been here.
What are the pictures? I remember when I had all those things on the wall. I took all of them.
No, she's related to me now.
She's married and has a baby.
I was kidding. She used to always follow my stuff online. Oh, you can tell, look at the room.
Yeah. Look at what?
That's the one, it was the computer room.
Right, the front, the yellow.
Yep.
The yellow, yeah.
Yeah. That was such an ugly color.
I know.
This was my desk, and then we had this desk since.
I love it.
I know this desk is. I just realized that it's a picture. This is the one that was in high school. In my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had it in the corner. Oh man, that's funny.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's nothing wrong with it at all.
Well, there's a thing that we took off, I believe. There's another piece.
Oh, I guess that was very good piece because I have it in my room. It's in the front of my desk.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I had a corner thing where you put the.
yes,
Yeah.
all right.
That was mine. So I took the shelf and just put it on top of my nightstand thing. That's.
Right.
that's basically like to the left of my TV because there's a fire.
I can't believe what she got.
What is that?
She was meet and greet with the new kids on the block. She actually got into it without having paid for it, and I'm like, you're fucking nuts. She did.
That's one of the cops. That's the one that left the messages on my answer machine.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's when he, before becoming. Can you actually print that?
Are you going to print them?
I'm handed together here because I have a. Yeah. He actually
Give me a piece of film.
was going to play football.
Uh-huh.
My senior, so his junior year. He's born August 23rd, and I'm August 24th, so we're a year apart. So anyway,
He's older?
no, he's younger. He is married, or Sebi, my best friend growing up, is married to his sister.
He's married to his sister?
So Sebi is married to Steve's sister.
Oh, I thought it was the other way, because I remember Sebi's sister was hot.
Oh yeah, but. But yeah, so anyway, we went to a party. It was I would believe it would be no, it's probably my junior year.
Oh, well, that's new. I never used that all the time. I didn't want to throw it away.
How about the PS3? You still use that?
Yes.
Oh, it was mine.
No, that's my one. You have your own. We had two of them.
Yeah, you know why we had two? Why?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember, right? Yeah, I know. Because one was mine, and then I got myself one, and I let you have that one.
Okay, fine.
And that's the same reason that all Mom's radio stuff was, given to me, and that's why it's still here.
Right. Well, I take care of it.
Yes, but that's not the point. The point was that it was given to me, and I was just nice enough and just let it,
Mm-hmm. And I added to it.
I'm sure, yeah, I know that. I'm happy we're doing this thing.
Yeah, we cut that down.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to pay for another
No, well, it was also not getting rid of Mom's.
Right.
See, that's what it is for me, not getting rid of her shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it was back when the era would...
One of my friends, was letting me know, I guess Sabrina's mother was going around saying that, like a long time ago when we dated, that I forced her to do stuff with me and this and that. And then...
Yeah, I heard rumors about that.
Yeah, so then Officer Jess, this was like one of the only times I've been treated fairly. He's like, well, if that's the case, because apparently she was worried that I had pictures of her, because she did take pictures, when we were younger, and so Officer Jess was like, well, if her mother knew about this all this time and didn't report it, it's endangering the welfare of her child. So like, if she wants to do that, then so she was actually fair for once, like. And I was like, well, I don't have any pictures, but she's just worried about it because she knows they did exist at one time.
Right.
And
yeah, see, I can't remember what I did with that diesel stuff. I'll look around again for it. Gotta clean my house this weekend.
you would have obviously remembered if you were the one packing the stuff.
Oh, I didn't pack your stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So she packed my stuff.
I guess.
What do you mean you guessed? You're only 2 here. You can't guess.
How many years ago was that?
Exactly, and I have to remember all. You know how my head spins because I have to remember all these details from these cases because I was going to go to jail if not. And now nothing. There's not a charge.
I don't know if there's anything upstairs.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like I'm just trying to figure it out.
Let me look in there. You can stay there. I'll just move the chair out of the way.
There when I dated Sabrina.
Which one is that?
Remember the one I was dating when I came back from Dominican and Sandy and Water were living with us?
Not exactly. Yeah, maybe. She looked a little weird looking.
She was short, she was...
Like almost quiet, like.
Well, yeah.
Was that the one after Amanda?
No, I'm talking about the one going back to, younger. Amanda was, I dated Amanda,
After?
and then I dated Cassie. I'm
Okay.
talking about even before that. I'm talking about going back to like when Mom was around still.
Yeah.
Or not, well, yeah, Mom was still around. It was my freshman year, because I dated, remember my 8th grade dance? Like the grandpa came down, we had pictures by Whiteley's house.
Mm-hmm. Might be still pictures from there. Where you took pictures of your people in your class?
I have, because Kelly made a photo book, but...
No, I have them too.
Oh, you do?
On the computer.
Yeah.
This is not...
You still didn't find any of the any more of the dog documents?
I could have sworn it's empty. Yeah, take a look around to make sure.
Also, the other question I had is like, remember when she ended up taking like his Diesel to the vet in Oakland?
Right.
And I gave her the money for that.
Oh, I don't know. I just know that she had it. I remember that.
You remember what?
Her taking Diesel
Diesel for me though.
Right.
I did it for
Well,
me.
I don't know. You know the situation. It's been too long, and whatever was done is done.
No, but it's my right to know why certain things happen.
Well, if she went there, you could probably contact them and see if
No,
they have.
I'm not trying to get, I just want to know, basically, why they went from that, the dog, and then I texted you about seeing the dog for Christmas, and...
Oh, she was bad about the dog, and I warned her about that. I said, you're not being...
That's what made me fun.
Oh, I was annoyed too, and I told her, you're not being very nice about this. I warned her. I said, this is not the way you do things.
And I made sure I didn't break any laws by doing, that's why I didn't, because we went to the police station that night.
Why not?
And, why? How'd she find out?
I don't remember.
Oh, she was one of the officers, I think, called her up, because it was kind of, what was really screwed up about the situation is, I had Ryan going with me.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan's friends with a couple of them because he plays the football pool and everything.
Right.
And they shrugged me off and wouldn't, because I was telling them, I was like, one, I need to get my belongings, the locks got changed or whatever it was, and I need my mail, and my biggest concern is my dog.
Right.
And they said, well, the dog's kind of like a TV, it's a possession thing, so, you have to go down to the court in Patterson and file through civil. And it's like, no, that's not, everybody knows that he's been my dog.
Right. You recognize the Grinch, that was yours.
Really?
Yeah. It's got the two faces.
I don't remember some of this stuff. So you think you remember bonds or? I wish you didn't.
No, really, I didn't have that much left in her, so I didn't get that.
No, I remember Danielle, even before she...
Oh, yeah, she would throw stuff away, and I think stuff disappeared when I wasn't looking to.
Oh, I'm sure. She was home all the time.
Yeah.
5.
And then, her cousin came
Then I was gone all that time, yeah, so that's my point. So, and when she came in 2005 would be, who knows? Well, she was around when I was...
I think it was, I think it was definitely in the winter when she came too, because Jackie drove to me to the airport.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Before Jackie went away, I went away to the Navy. It's September 6th, but September 11th was my
12:31.
I left on the day of a Jets game, so on a Sunday I left. Because I remember I watched the first half. Oh, you know what the other thing was? You remember how I had the issue with, I was talking about and telling you about Sabrina? With Sabrina Whiteley? Remember,
I don't know who Sabrina Whiteley is.
She lived a couple houses down from Randy.
Oh, is that the one that she had her father had her white
Pickup truck? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He was the town's MUA, in charge of the MUA.
Right.
The detective that responded with Daniela, Johnny Williams,
Right.
worked underneath him for a long time, right?